Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hope you are all having a wonderful day. As today was a very difficult day to read, was probably one of the harder days to kind of trade. And then sorry about not posting a video yesterday, as I was having some difficulties with my internet and computer. Some technical difficulties going on there, so I did not post a video yesterday. But let's review what happened yesterday. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into it. I'm gonna try to make this quick, as I didn't trade much today. Got hurt, so I stepped away and kind of saved the mental reserve for another day. All right, so yesterday was a pretty rotational inside day. Uh, we were in balance, right? Because we came into balance on Monday, right? Tuesday. Wait, excuse me. Yeah, Tuesday we came into balance. Tuesday is when we came into balance because we took out that high and that previous day's low, putting us into a 3-day balance. And then to yesterday, Wednesday, we did nothing but chop around inside that lower distribution or that lower range from Tuesday. All we did was chop back and forth. We were 12 out of 13 time frames wide, so almost a perfect POC. The only one that didn't get there was, I believe, J period. So we're 12 wide here, so a very wide point of control, very rotational day up and down. Do not know why that profile is down here, but very rotational day. Uh, as we did nothing but chop back and forth. So we had an inside day yesterday. We came out of that inside day today. As you can see, there's a lot of lines showing there's a lot of MGI or market generated information that occurred today that didn't hold. So what happened today? Well, we come into today an A period with a gap down. We came out of that inside day with a pretty massive gap down. I can show you guys here. Let's go into our overnight chart to kind of give you guys a better look at what happened or what occurred. So we overnight we sold off. We came out of that inside day overnight. We're inside day, came out of that inside day to the downside, and we opened up near our lows here. We opened at 39.17, I believe. 39.16. Our overnight low was 39.12.50. All right. 39.12.50. We opened up at 39.16. We pushed down low in B period at low of 39.13.75. So one thing we look for in in Paul's room and just in general, if somebody's a market trades market profile, is you look to see if we get the overnights. So by overnight, I mean the overnight high or the overnight low. So as we open up with a gap down out of an inside day, coming out of balance, by the way, we came out of balance. So this, we were in a after Wednesday, we were in a 4-day balance with that inside day. We gapped down, coming out of balance. So we took out uh, these two lows. Took out 39.60 low, so that one disappeared. And then our balance low was right there at 39.51. I'm gonna keep that in because it was a pretty important time or important area later in the day. The gap didn't get filled until 39.62. So we gapped down all the way at 39.16.75. The overnight low was what I tell you? It was if I could find it. 39.12, right? So you would think with a gap, lower value, and opening with a gap, lower value, that in A period when we open up, we could push down and get that overnight low to get something in the seller's favor, and then maybe go and get this afternoon pullback low from the 10th at 39.0450 because we took back those single prints that was right in this area right here. So we took those single prints back from the 10th because of that gap. Took back 3 daily lows, excuse me, because of that gap. You would think, all right, odds are pretty good to go get that overnight low. Well, guess what? In B period, we push down, don't get much extension, and we have a reversal bar because we didn't get that overnight low. We were thinking, all right, maybe inventory adjustment, and then after that, C and D have a hard time taking out the initial balance, which is all of B's range, all of B period, his range. We just chop back and forth. We create a 4 wide pocket down here at C's low, right above the open. Half back was right around there, and we were just kind of being rotational on the day. Well, finally in E period, we pop up, we take out D's high, started to get some momentum to the upside. Not a lot of momentum, but enough to kind of pop us up higher above C and test the high of the day. Well, I decided to take a short in E period. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. Decided to take a short in E period. That put me in the hole because I took it right around C's high. We popped B, and I stayed in it for a minute because I was like, well, maybe they'll rotate back down to the POC or back to the POC because it was kind of later in the time frame when I took that trade in E period. I was like, well, maybe F will open up and pull back, and I was not expecting for us to go trend. So what do I mean by that? Well, where you see these white lines that I have in here, this white line that starts at B's high at 39.3475, and initially it was up here at 39.42, but after G period it kind of moved. But initially we had single prints in E period, so I got out of my trade. Decent loss. I had taken it with the micros, so it wasn't terrible. It wasn't anything I couldn't recover on. Micros is a little bit less pain than when you trade with a mini. But we create a set of single prints after taking the IB high and we started the one-time frame up in E period. You're not expecting that with a gap lower and a value being lower, but after chopping around for 4 time frames and not taking out the initial balance low, you kind of expected some steam to get let out, but maybe not as much as what we did. F period, we open up. We decided to pop up pretty good. We attempted to go and test that previous day's balance low. So if I go here on my daily chart, you can see 39.51 was that balance low. Our 4-day balance low. The balance high was up here at 40.3875. So we never got near that. Came out of that inside day. So we back tested that basically in F period. That's why I'm saying that was kind of an important area. Could have taken a short there against it the first time, and I did, but not right away in F period. I'd actually taken a short in F period late in the time frame, right around 44 and 43. I was short a 2-lot minis, short in F period to go and fill the single prints here because at the time single prints was here, right? So I'm thinking F will pull back and maybe we'll, all that was short covering and anybody that's buying up here will give it up and we'll pull back down to the POC because point of control was down here now. We moved it up to D's high at the time. Well, we didn't get that in F period. I took one of them off. I held the other. That was at 44. In G period, when G opened up, and we took out F's low, I added to the position because I was like, good odd. Maybe we do fill the single prints in G period. Well, when I added at 42, I had the option to get out at 40. I didn't get out of the trade. I should have. Actually, I got out of one of the contracts and then I held the other. So, because I was expecting us to pull back and fill that set of single prints. So now we have that set of single prints here, right? So now that set of single prints is there at 39.40. We're holding the single prints. We're holding this trend day as at trend day up, by the way, which is kind of odd on a gap down. Not something you're expecting, but so that's why I was attempting to fade on the extreme to come back in, get that. But as we came into F period, or came back into F period's range in G, right? We came back up above 39.42, 39.43 level, and I should have gotten out of the trade. It would have been for a very small loss, and I still would have been up on the day because those two shorts I took, the one in F period and the one that took off in G at near the low. I made like 3 or 4 points on both of those, so I was up on the day, and then coming back into F's range on that one lot that I still had in G was hurting me, but not a lot. I was still up on the day, but I decided to set my stop above, uh, which was dumb. I shouldn't have done that. I admit that I was uh, thinking about I was thinking about the money, not about the trade. And once we got back into F's range, the trade was over. I should have taken it off, but I didn't. And there were other things that were telling me that I should have taken the trade off. One of those things being we got above the 9 minute or the 9 EMA on the 1 minute. We got above the 9 minute, or we held the 9 minute on that pullback. I can show you exactly where we're at. The 9 EMA on the 5 minute, right here. On this pullback, I should have gotten out, right? Because that was 39.40. Once I seen that we were holding that, I should have got out of that trade. I didn't. Um, so I held on. I had my stop up here at 39.51 because I figured, that would be a pretty wide stop. Maybe, we take out F's high, but we don't get that area and we start to roll over. Well, I was wrong because once we took out F's high again, we started to pick up steam and pop. So I got out of that trade for a pretty hefty loss, as it was about a 10-point loss there on that trade. Actually, I added on the way up like a dummy. Added on the way up, and I got hurt. So what was a 10-point loss was now like a 22-point loss. And, that's not, especially with minis, it's not what you want to do. And I wasn't consistent. Well, after G period pushed up and we got it back above that balance low, next destination for the upside is the gap fill. Gap fill is at 39.62. All right, so that's the next destination that the algos start to set their targets on or their sights on. So in H period, guess what? We continue to one-time frame up, and we finally fill that or fill that the gap, the massive gap down with lower value. We fill the gap. Not only did we fill the gap, we have a triple distribution day with two sets of single prints at the time, right? So all this right here that I'm highlighting from B here is one distribution set of single prints, and then from here to here is another distribution set of single prints, and then from here at the time before I and J period was another distribution. Well, guess what? We take all that back. So there was a lot of mixed MGI. So I didn't trade after that big loss that I took due to the mixed MGI, mixed market generated information. Very conflicting, tough day to read. And anybody that made money, kudos to you because this was an absolute crapshoot. So I period, guess what? The market gets too long. We don't get above H's high, don't continue to one time frame up. We don't get that 12 wide POC, which is the next destination, because we filled the gap, right? I period, we couldn't get H's high, so we roll over. We start to take back some of those single prints. We don't quite fill them, and then finally in J period, we begin to one time frame down. We fill that set of single prints. So that part of the trend is gone. So we go from a triple distribution to now a double distribution. J continues to pull back, and then in K period, we continue to one time frame down after taking out J's low. Continue to one time frame down. We get into that set of single prints, but we hold them. it was a good long opportunity actually against that set of single prints and the halfback there. So, on that pullback along against that would have been a good trade initially because you could have taken the long to rotate back up because we had brought Puck, as you can see, back up here. So we got 5 wide at the time. So we brought it all the way from D's high up to E period high. So Puck was back up here. You could have taken that long at 39.38. And then you would have gotten out at 44 to 45, right? Anywhere in that range. And you would have had a really good trade on that. Then in L period, guess what? We continue to one time frame down. We filled a set of single prints, double distribution day gone, triple distribution day gone. And, obviously people were starting to get piling short here as the week longs got out, thinking, all right, maybe we go get the overnight low and the low of day now because it's not impossible after what we just seen. And then in period, Larry and Mo obviously tricking people out here. Mo said, nope. Let's hit him with a reverse Uno card and pop back up. So we take out both Larry and Curly's high and almost go back to the high of day. So really conflicting market generated information. A tough day to read overall. And I got hurt. It was a trade that I should have gotten out of here in G period. That hurt me the most. But I took it with a grain of salt, knowing that the market is very tough to read from time to time, and I'm trading in some of the toughest markets that have been around in the last decade. So, uh, you know, we're just going to take it with a grain of salt and move on, learn from my mistake. Maybe next time I see a setup like that, I take it off instead of holding or instead of adding. Hopefully, that's something I can get through my head, as I am a pretty risk on person. I don't mind taking risk. I don't mind holding something to zero or even taking loss on it. It used to bug me, but not anymore. I hope maybe you guys can learn from my mistakes. So if you see something like that where we pull back into that 9 EMA after a big move up and you hold it, get out of the trade if you're short because obviously the long is the play at that point. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me go over the destinations. All we end up with today is oh, today's high and today's low. The daily is now down because we came out of balance to the downside with that gap. So, all we end up with today, miraculously, is the day's high and the day's low. It's just absolutely mind-boggling how this how this market's been trading, and it's all it is how my mentor he describes it very well. It's straight, simply put, emotional trading, and you could see that in the intraday and the overnight. Overnight was short with a gap down, and then guess what? Uh, Inventory got too short. We come up, relieve some of that inventory to the upside with single prints, as it was a short covering rally initially, and then we take it all back as those anybody that was getting long up there near the highs got hurt once we started taking out previous time frames lows. So, it's quite simply put, emotional trading, and our job as a day trader is to exploit those emotions and try not to get caught up in the chop in between. And today I got caught up. So hopefully we do better in the future. And yeah, let's go over destinations. High of day, right? We take out tomorrow's high of day. We put the daily back into a balance. 39.6250, we take that out. Daily goes back to a balance. And then potentially we go and get that 12 wide puck that we missed today at 39.7650. and then that high of day at 39.9275. For the downside, all we have for the downside is the low of day, 39.1375. We take that out, we continue to one time frame down, and then maybe we get that afternoon pullback low that we missed today at 39.0450. After that, you don't have anything until 38.7075. Pretty wild. One thing I did note was that we came back down to this 9 SMA and we kind of held it on the daily. The dailies even, or the larger time frames are even kind of showing conflicting interest. The daily came out of balance to the downside. The weekly, the weekly is still one time framing up, right? Next week, if we take out this week's low, then we put the weekly back into a balance. The monthly is in a balance. So monthly balance, weekly one time framing up, daily one time framing down. Very confusing market generated information. But with all that, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Hopefully you learn from a mistake if you are a trader. And if you're not, then good luck uh, with your investment portfolios as this market is just being ripped around by emotional traders and short-term traders, not anybody that's a big dog or a longer time frame trader. Uh, Hope you all have a wonderful night. We'll catch you in the video tomorrow. See you.